Greetings everyone, this is me Zahra Berserk again to remind you that this is a false religion and not to kill for apostasy and blasphemy. And please remain on the topic that I am on here. So my thing is different here, right? So let me tell you the laws and rules here, that when you come here, okay, now I see myself live. When you come here, please stick to the rules of these live streams of mine. Don't depart from, first of all, any the Islamic reason and the Quran ayats together as I take them and show you, and we can go to the tafsir if the tafsir is important and it goes with the Quran ayat or something like that. So when it's absolutely necessary, even the false stories that the Muslims think have come from Islamic historians, we can take them. As you see, I have taken Zainab and Prophet Muhammad's story when he went to visit Zaid from Tabari. So like that, and so that we don't waste each other's times. And because I'm not in a normal condition, I keep praying to God and wishing that I was better equipped on this. So another thing is that my thing has been self-discovery, showing you sometimes stumbling on a Quran ayat while I'm doing another Quran ayat and finding that, oh my God, to my very shocked that how could I believe in this religion? And I have been fooled to a great extent. I was a fool to believe in this religion. Things like that, right? And I would be making mistakes. I'm, after all, not a perfect human being, a learner, a student. I do not call myself a religious alim, yet I chose to depart from the religious alims. Why? Because of the reasons that you can see in my live streams. Why? And sometimes even depart from the tafsirs given below the ayats by Shia Sunni both. Seeping through, or like that, sifting through to find out what is it, and even like looking at Yazid's life and seeing, was he a true hypocrite or what, like, and questioning Hussein, Ali, Hussein bin Ali, Abu Talib, like that. So this is the way I have chosen. And so if you come here, please abide by the rules that I have chosen here. And please cooperate, because I'm, I can be a psycho because of my condition and case. I can really start. So please don't let that happen. As it is in debates, it's even to listen to debates is very difficult for me. But I force myself. So these feelings come up, and it's really terrible. I hate it. But I have to. Some debates I have to listen to, and some discussions also. Even that is difficult at times. So I would like you to cooperate with me, and I'm not normal. That's why I'm saying I'm not normal. And so that if you would take, see this way of mine, why I've chosen it, and so cooperate, please. And as I go on, I also check myself at breaks. When I take a break from live stream, I check whether there are some feelings, whether I'm getting carried away or what, like that, all right? or mistakes I make, I will, when I find out that I've made a mistake, and then I will correct myself. I come here to correct myself. And then let's see if any questions and answers. Any question, answer. This is a question answer session. If you have an answer to my question, help me. You can answer my questions here. But I hope, please take a very honest way, right? So if we haven't learned that honesty, then we can say that, okay, sometimes the thing comes up, the bias, the prejudice, and things like that. I sometimes look at myself, and when Imam Ali's name comes up, or if I listen to Shia Noah, Shia Noah, uh, like that thing comes up, oh my God, that how passionate I was about this religion on my own, like in my own community, Shia, that and not fighting with others on that, Sunnis or anyone, our fellow Muslims. But in my own religion, I was passionate. So hope I've explained this. If I need to, let's see. So if any, like I was wrong about a Bible verse parable, I came here to correct myself, and like that. But I hope we don't need to feel very guilty about it, overly guilty, again and again apologizing and all this. So once it's clear, move forward from that guilt and apology, even though it's on a holy scripture, and right, or even a Quran ayat. I'm like, if I make a mistake, I will come back. This does not mean that some of the things I've said are wrong and I've made a mistake on them, in them too, the ayats and all. So please cooperate. Let's see. So no one is here. So then another thing is that I don't know. There's a disclaimer. Uh, the country I come from is a Muslim country, and I don't know whether I'll be harassed overtly or what. And today also I called a Pakistani restaurant, and initially they answer by saying greetings and all, and they greet and then they say their restaurant name. When they heard my voice, they went quiet on me. Muslim restaurant, right? Pakistani here. So I wanted to order food. Then I could hear the sound in the background that was still there when they were talking, when they hadn't heard my voice, before. So when they pick up, and I was hearing the background sound, but the man went silent on me, the Muslim man. And then I called again, and I had to, like, then they didn't say anything like greeting in the beginning. Well, you don't realize who's called you, and you say, hello, yes, this is the restaurant. How can we help you, like that? So I called again, and there was this sound in the background but I couldn't hear the man. He was quiet. He turned silent on me. So I was maybe it doesn't seem like that their phone goes silent. Their phone went silent, but maybe it did. I don't know. But then I called another restaurant, and I ordered my food from there. I could hear the man greetings and all, and then I ordered, and still their phone was okay, I guess. So I'm wondering if the government, because this particular restaurant, when I first moved, first time when I ordered, when I moved from one place to another, they asked for the number and all, this mobile number and all. So somehow they came here on YouTube, the one who went silent on me. And I saw that, oh, this Pakistani restaurant here, they've joined my channel here on YouTube. Yes, and so I don't, they don't give the delivery man's name, but somehow I knew that this was the man who had just after ordering the food and all this, just after some time, he came to my channel on YouTube, and I felt it was the same restaurant that joined my channel here, this channel on YouTube. So I started to wonder, it just happened a while ago today, that whether my government led him to do this, or the restaurant and the man, or they themselves personally did this. So I don't know, I'm not sure. Anyhow, anyway, so this I had to speak about. So if it's my government, then, let's see what happens. Then I could be like covertly harassed by people here outside. Outsiders, Muslims especially, they're using. So this is the problem here with the Muslim people. And then I was like disturbed that these Muslims, some of them, no matter what you tell them, they will never learn. And I checked Nabi Asli's that channel where he gives this ayat, and it's right. I think at the end of the day, whether some Muslims like Shias would say read this in full context, but I don't know. And some Muslims would also say that they're not reading this ayat in full context, but in the context, now it's gone black here, blank. Surah Nisa ayat, what is it? The one that from Al Imran is the one I gave previously, longed for death. So you would say, no, he has taught us how to live, but I will talk about that later, under discussion. So this is Surah Nisa. What ayat is it again? I just have to check. From that the apostates should be killed. These are hypocrites that were adverse, very right. And sorry, I have to pick on this Nabi Asli YouTube channel regarding whether he should have given this ayat on the penalty for apostasy. These are hypocrites who actually embraced Islam knowingly, that they would give trouble to Islam and all that. I think so. If you take the other, the tafsir, no, I can't even take this tafsir. So just where Facebook, where is that? What's the ayat number? Surah Nisa. Sorry, I'm slow, and this could hamper with the people want me to go fast, and it could become boring. Surah Nisa. Hypocrites, kill them. Hypocrites. I'll just put this and slay them wherever you find them. Kill them. Let's see how it goes. It's 89th. So the understanding of this, I would like towards understanding the Quran. Yeah, Islamic Studies Info. Let's see if Okay, this is open for me. No bad gateway or this thing to me somehow. 88 says, what has happened to you that you have two minds about the hypocrites, though Allah has reverted them? Owing to, oh yeah, and if you take another ayat, like who are the hypocrites? The ones who doubt this religion also go in the category of becoming hypocrites, right? If you remember that ayat, sorry, and the number and in which surah it is in. So I think I think Nabi Asli did a proper research than I have done, realizing that, and anyway, some Muslims can take this ayat to mean kill the hypocrites wherever you find them. So that danger is there too. Whereas some Muslims might take it like I did initially, even though as an ex-Muslim, that this is for those hypocrites who harm Islam, who are the enemies, and you must read it in context and the Shia side or whatever context you must read it, even departing from the Shia side if it says kill apostates, right? So the problem of the hypocrites is discussed here. Sorry, I can't find a way to put my picture where to put it. So wait a minute, let me see if I can put it here on the side. Better. The problem of the hypocrites is discussed here. They had outwardly embraced Islam in Makkah and in other parts of Arabia, but instead of migrating, so outwardly they had embraced Islam, meaning from the very beginning they were so not true Muslims. So this is not in the case of those ex-Muslims who didn't want to go against Islam and who say we love Muslims. They say, the ex-Muslims, we love you and we want your good, we don't want your bad. And we are out in the open. And whether this means that whoever challenges Islam will, these are, uh, even for your own good, even for the Muslims' own good, they should be killed. So maybe a fatwa should come out that no, please don't kill them. This should be read in context and of the hypocrites of his time who embraced Islam. But I would say that these poor people were forced to embrace Islam. And when you're forced to embrace Islam, this is what happens. You get hypocrites. But they were not enemies of Islam, but they were enemies of, that they were a false prophet who they saw was false and was forcing them to become that also, forcing them to become Mormon. And this is what you get. So another point, one point coming out from another. Zero says, is this live? Yes, this is live. Zero, sorry, my live chat was closed. I couldn't, I was going on talking. Yes, this is live. Are you still here, Zero? Right? So, any questions? Have you listened to my live streams? Are you interested in this or something else? Or may I know why you are here? So, any questions? Any? You have something to contribute here? You're most welcome. Positive, cooperatively, with reason, against Islam, about Islam, but not departing from reason. So that's why it was difficult for me because I'm not that eloquent. Some were so anyways struggling to explain. If I can't explain it here, I will find another time today, come back, or maybe the next day, things like that. I'll keep coming and get better and better in my explanations. like that. So I'm not telling you I'm the best teacher or I'm one of a good teacher to do this, but if you would give me a chance who is a mediocre learner, has passion for this, right? If you want a good debate, like a good discussion, sorry, not a debate, and good English explanation, a genius in himself, you could go to, last night I was listening to Bob from Speaker's Corner on YouTube channel, and Booba, a Muslim. So that was very interesting. Like and they like her his English, Bob of Speaker's Corner is perfect, very near to perfect. He knows his work and he is very respectful, and things like that. Sometimes it happens that we may sound when I'm also talking, getting angry, why can't you see this and all this, that we sound condescending or cunning or something. But I would say that the most cunning person was Prophet Muhammad. So, but Bob of Speaker's Corner, I didn't find him cunning or anything. And please be, you if you can afford, because you are in a normal state, right? Or if something happens to you, like you can't take it, then please tell me that you cannot take this. Let's be sincere with each other. You see, here we are not enemies. Okay, my last, I just, you see, I was also a Shia. I was also a Shia. So, uh, then sometimes I have to do this very lightly because of my condition. You can see I either get very serious or very, like that, and I have some things on me. So let's be very, I would appreciate it if you would be very honest. Like I say, I'm not that eloquent and things like that. Also discovering, I don't remember all the Quran ayats, but for a particular Quran ayat under discussion, for contradictions, if I forget an ayat, I don't have to chastise myself that I forgot it. There's another time coming back and correcting myself, right? So even in this question and answer session, I may not be able to give you the full reply, but I keep coming a lot of times here. So there's always a chance to correct myself as I go on. I'm not a genius. And like that, right? So please forgive me, overlook, and understand my condition also. But please don't depart. If you come tell me here that you are this Muslim and you follow, your this thing by the letter, like Salahuddin came here to tell me. He knows he's Ahle Hadith. First time when he came, he told me certain things like this. But here some Muslims would say, this is read in context and for the time when there were hypocrites, when they embraced Islam, and they actually embraced Islam hypocritically. And what do hypocrites do? To harm the religion, take it by the roots and finish it. Because it's very difficult, and hypocrisy is the best way to do it, to harm a religion or anyone. Like hypocritical friends, they are very good in behavior. They can get you provoked and get you angry because you get that vibe antenna tick 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 coming, and maybe you can't take it. So they can provoke you very cleverly, very cunningly, and you would say, "Oh, she's the one who gets angry, and we are afraid of you." But the person who's very calm and cool is the hypocrite. But you don't see through, some people won't see through that. And they will consider me, they will see what's on the surface, and they will consider, someone like me who is provoked by that. I could get the feeling. And you don't get the feeling. And then at times when I'm calm and I see the fights and screaming and all, and I say, oh my God, what's this happening? When I forget that in my house the same thing was happening, or, I also get angry and I also shout and scream. Oh my God, why are these humans fighting here? So you see contradictions in us and inconsistency. We don't see our fault, but when the other person, we can see. So this is what my one aunt was saying, all right? That, when I see myself, when someone else is doing it, the same thing, oh my God, I've been like this. Like, they would, someone would tell us, well, why can't you talk without, you don't have to scream, right? Very genuinely tell us that I'm here listening to you. You don't have to scream at us. And then we're like, oh yes, sounds like we are fighting, screaming, shouting. So you can correct us like this. And then, like someone pointed, a very genuine person pointed out something of me, my weakness. And then when I saw another person shouting, I was like, yes, yes. And then another person, with the same problem, talking very calmly, and all of them are genuine, all of them. So I was like, right, I don't have to shout. I saw myself here, and now I see this person who has been raped by a father, this, that, but such calmness, such a thing. Before my uncle there, and my father, I couldn't talk properly about my case. I was shouting. If you see my videos, very old ones, here uploaded. So the bottom line is that we are helping each other. Also, another thing, before becoming an ex-Muslim, I had to come here and say, I'm not your enemy. Sunnis, I'm not your enemy. And so why have, like, even if in debates, professional debates and all this, I don't like it. So I feel there must be another way, and I wanted to take that way. And Jiddu Krishnamurti, thank God I came across his books, showed me that there is another way, that we can together as friends discovering if our religion is wrong, then it's wrong. And now I had the uh, liberty to make a little bit light fun of this, like in my previous live stream. I, well, I, don't you think I like deserve, like I have the right, to do this. So this. Now I've had a headache also. It's but this is such a passion, and it's a habit also. I have to get, now I have to, maybe Ramadan will come, and things will be slow, or late in the night. I would have to come, not in the daytime or something like this, even in the evening. Oh, that would be like so late, something like this, or early morning. If I wake up early morning, uh, let's see how far I go now with this. So, as I saw this, is that I still have to contemplate and find words for this. So I hope when I spoke about Asli, Nabi Asli channel, about this verse, that he does not mind. It's very hard work. His channel is great with animation and all that. It's so good to remember what's happened by seeing. It's like, seeing a movie and you remember more than you read something. So that although the reading may be there in the movie also, it helps a lot to remember. And his videos are there on YouTube. They're excellent, excellent work, outstanding. But about this point, I was kind of confused, and I thought I was clear that this was about those hypocrites, not apostates who are genuinely, who have, that you go and kill them. But then there's a ayat I remembered, yes, that you can't even question him. Will you question him like the people of, you will wax him, annoy him? Will you question him? This also is there. Like the people of Moses, like Moses' people vexed Moses and questioned him. So I hope you got what my way is here, the way I have chosen. Taking a little bit from Jiddu Krishnamurti, Muji Baba, Sri Ravi Shankar ji, and yet I would love to be like them, very composed, and like Bob, the Speaker's Corner on the YouTube channel, very like that, but I don't have that patience. And my condition, I'm not normal. I'm a psycho, so that also. So, but if you cooperate, maybe like with Kalthofer, you know how I was, like really appreciative of his ways and how he understood me and what he said. I think this is in, where is it? A Quran ayat? End of Surah Tawbah or Azab, where? They would worry and vex him, would neither let him have peace. Would you question him, the Prophet? Those who annoy, like that are those who annoy the believing men and believing. In the Quran, God says these words. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's really boring, right? I know, but what can I do? Please bear with me. Those who annoy, Surah Nur, those who. So you see, I don't agree, but please, I see even Muji Baba, like I see that there's this pride coming in. So these foreigners, amazing, really, when they go to Muji Baba, even some Indians, they say, like Muji Baba has, says you don't now have to do all this. I've given you a shortcut, shown you. So there was some bad kind of feeling. Like an Indian even questioned him that I was feeling a bad. She didn't question him. She said something like this, or she or he, that it comes from our India, and yet there's this person. She was bringing out her true feelings at that time. So that honesty we need. If you're jealous, if you like. So I had this experience that someone came to me and said, it makes me jealous that you talk to this person. So please, if so, I was like, my goodness, she has the courage to tell me. You see, it makes her really behind all that. It's a good person. So if your ego is coming up and you're getting hurt, because last time in my, how could she say this and laugh like this and this and that, right? I know it hampers with that academic way of learning because, of course, we get hurt. But if you would, for your own betterment, see this, that I'm not making fun of, actually I'm making fun of this Prophet and Allah, and I think I should, it's high time I should have made fun of him. And if you disagree with me, you can say you disagree with me, but I have my right. I can do this. I don't know if you learned from it, but I would appreciate it if you did and leave aside that ego. Because remember, I was also a Shia. It's still hurting me. And to see, oh my God, what is this? What a disaster for humanity and their souls and their spirits and their lives, to have followed a false prophet who Allah has turned out to be a shaitan. So sometimes I hope you would give me that liberty to, a little bit on the lighter side. You would allow me. Those who annoy believing women and believing men. I think believing women and believing men. Oh God, I'm getting a voice of a man, Zahra. Someone, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's about the restaurant. It says, and those who annoy believing men and yeah. So here after, yes, Surah Azab verse. Maybe before this verse it says, don't be like those who questioned Moses and vexed him or annoyed him. Is it this one? And sometimes Muslims could be embarrassed. Recite what is rehearsed to you in your homes. No, it is not for believing. When Allah and His, no, it's not Surah Azab. Maybe it's this is about Zainab thing. So even Firefox browser and Google search in it is not helping me. So if you want to impose your religion and what you think is right about this religion, there are many opinions in this religion, many schools of thought. But this will not do. I will not have that. So you're not the only one there. One restaurant, Muslim restaurant, didn't answer me. I have other better restaurants to call. So you can keep your thing to yourself, your punishments and all. Surah, those who questioned, I had to come here, question Musa. Either it's in Surah Tawbah or Surah Nur. See. So keep your Muslims. You won't be able to intimidate me for long. I will just, I'm not feeling well. I don't know why my mind is, I don't have time to waste on you people. Such people who are dogmatic and who use this Islam, don't make these apostates allies. You can be rude and harsh and cruel. Won't make a difference to me. I hope not. Only a sick, a person who is unwell and because they have OCD or something, like I do. So your arrogance also will not do with me. Okay, let's see now here. No, I think maybe Surah. Can't remember the Surah Azam. Yes, it must be at the end. Who are these hypocrites here? Men, that Allah has to punish the hypocrites, men and women, and the unbelievers, men and women, and Allah turns to mercy. Allah turns in mercy to the believers. This also good that I came here down here below, 73 ayat of Surah Azab. We did not indeed offer the trust to the heavens and the earth. And even in Surah Muhammad, I think Allah says that, or Surah Fat, that He will punish the hypocritical men and women, disbelieving men and women, something like this, polytheistic men and women. He will then amend for you your deeds and forgive you your sins. So you are not just sinless. Don't think you are sinless. Looking at the disbelievers that, oh, we have one Allah and so great and we are sinless. No, no, you were sinners. But He will forgive you your deeds, amend your deeds and forgive you your sins. He will then amend for you your deeds and forgive you your sins. It is not you who are going to amend your deeds. And whoever obeys Allah and His Messenger has certainly attained a great attainment. So obeying Allah and His Messenger, and it is Allah who will amend for you your deeds. No matter how much you try, but if you follow, okay, you've been given namaz, salat, astaghfar, and doors of repentance are open for you. But it is eventually, with your best effort, someone may fail. So don't look at yourself if you have passed in being a great in manners and smiling and greeting someone outwardly very nicely as a Muslim, greeting Assalamu alaikum and giving prayers and all that, that it is all by your effort. No, no, don't deem this your effort in good manners. It is because you have embraced Islam. And don't think that you have done a favor by embracing Islam to the Prophet or Allah, right? So that also should be a good thing that I came to this ayat. Then you can check the other ayats that I've given you. It's not easy on Google search. Was not coming up. It's not coming up. It was not. It's not coming up. He will then amend for you your deeds and forgive you your sins. So don't think, oh, you believe, fear Allah and always say a word directed to the right. Right? Even though someone abuses you and all this, keep quiet. Maybe you can afford to keep quiet in United Arab Emirates. There's a fine if you don't keep quiet. And if you discriminate like I do here, they can give me a fine here. Like in my madness, I just told this person, "Are you a Pakistan?" I asked email over the email, like, "Are you a Pakistani Muslim?" And they can now find me here in the. Doesn't matter. I'm Emirati or whoever I am. Who do I think I am to discriminate? The law applies to me too, right? Since maybe they know that I'm not well and all this, and I've been complaining, and then I have this fear. No, I don't have this fear, but I have this feeling sense that they're using Pakistanis or, excuse me, Muslims. Even my food had the one I ordered from another restaurant hasn't digest properly that I've come here. Sorry, so excuse me. Oh, you who believe, fear Allah and always say a word directed to the right. But this doesn't mean that you come here and you take 2 hours against someone like me, and then you're still going back to your lies. And then you come here with good behavior and all this. My 2 hours of reason, Islamic way. And why, you see, I go from one ayat to another because it has connection. It has a connection. And why did I depart? In my previous live stream about something like the eye, this, that. Yeah, right. So I was seeping, I was like seeping through. Like, I know I was out of context, but then I've gone deeper into analysis. So, oh yeah, right. You're saying fear Allah, what this. You see what I mean? Now I didn't have to stick to the rules because I've come to the main thing. I have proved it through Zainab and Surah Azab verses. Now where I've come and how I've come, that now you're saying to, like, for example, now I can say that I can see, I have now come to the conclusion about what ayat, like this one, for example, you wished for death, right? Surah Ali Imran, verse 143, right? He's leading people to death. You wish for death. Now I can see that these people who wished for death, what is it? So, and I can say something like, no, it's not martyrdom. And you would say, no, read it in context. It's about martyrdom. So there are various opinions also. You can see in the Islamic schools, various schools of thought. But here I would say that you wish for death. Couldn't Allah put, in the way, of course, Zahra, it means in the way of Allah. You wish for death. And now if those who say read in context, you wish for death, this one, I will show you something here that you previously longed for death in the way of Allah. Now you have faced it, observing it with your own eyes. This is the reference to those companions who had urged the Prophet to go out of Medina and take on the enemy there because of the ardent desire for martyrdom. This is from the Islamic sources, non-Shia. Whether the Shias take this, how they take it, I cannot say. I'm not, but it is from the Sunni sources towards understanding the Quran. Islamic Studies Info. So, what is this? You don't jump to, my mind is going to that ayat that he come to him, he gives you life. What gives you life? So our Shias say live like Ali, die like Hussein. So at least first live your life like Ali. You would the Shias would say to try to correct me in this way. Wait, please hold your horses, right? Let's take a thing at a time here. Sometimes I also go fast, but where is it? 143. You previously longed for death in the way of Allah. Did you think that you would enter paradise even though Allah has not yet seen? Here. Allah has not yet seen who among you strove hard in his way and remained steadfast. You see this? So, long for paradise. And if I say, yes, I looked at my Islam both ways, and Shia Sunni way, every way, and I see that he's dragging people to death. He wants, you're wishing for death. He wants you to die. I could see it. And then what happens, I come across, because through my experience, I had an insight looking at some of the behavior of the Sunni extremists or something like this, or whether you say America is making us do this, or America made the mujahids in Afghanistan. This is not us. We never. Islam means peace to all, that you are supposed to give disbelievers peace too and security when you have the upper hand. No. When you have the upper hand, there's an ayat. And you'll say, oh, you read that ayat out of context. And this will go on and on and on. So that's why I had to take the easy way. Because I could see questions coming up, and then you're blaming me to have quoted a wrong ayat because I'm out of context completely. That ayat says in the battle that when you have the upper hand, because you should, that's where God gives you the courage now. You're fighting in battles to save the oppressed, let's say children, women, and men. In Surah Nisa ayat, right? Oppressed, who cry out, oh God, send us a helper from among yourself. So don't cry out for peace at that time. And since you know the behavior of the hypocrites, they might be, don't cry out for peace because Allah knows best at that time. That, when Muawiyah and Muawiyah's army and Imam Ali, they had a war, Siffin or somewhere, when they put the Muawiyah's army put the Quran on the spears. Imam Ali said, Imam Ali's disciples were saying, now let's stop this. Companions were saying, no, we cannot fight with them. They've put the Quran on the spear. So Imam Ali said, no, fight. Many disagreed with Imam Ali at that time, his companions. I was told. So it's roughly speaking, I'm talking like this. Was it in the Battle of Siffin? So like that, we are at loggerheads, we are at disagreement. You'll say, because even in even in Islam, even in your own historians, there are different dissenting views. There are these. We can never be sure about anyone, anything, even ourselves, who we are, what we will become, what life's experiences will make us. So, whether we will be affected by life's experiences, whether we'll be affected by the vulgar environment, or this environment, or that environment. You get it? So like that, that's why I took the Zainab, very easy. And Zaid's case, and when ayats came, like believers have not altered their determination towards God. Once they've made a covenant with God, they cannot, and those are the believers who do not alter, change. So when that ayat came in my previous live stream, I went back to the Zainab ayat on on believers, Surah Azab ayat 36, that it wasn't only that she should accept the proposal and try out this marriage, it was a command. And believers, when believers are not supposed to change or afterwards have this doubt, or say that I cannot bring myself, how would you say it? I cannot bring myself to accept Zaid as my equal. And that's why we're having there's this incompatibility, right? Now, wouldn't, now, Prophet Muhammad had already realized that there's this incompatibility, but that Zainab should look at the piety of Zaid and not the status or the lineage of Zaid. Now, Zainab must have been informed of this and learned this before getting married to Zaid. That Zainab, Islam teaches you that you should look at the piety of Zaid. So if you don't like the proposal because of the high status, let me explain it to you like a parent or some good friend would, a brother would even. Oops, I'm getting this, someone just touched my left chest. Sorry, excuse me. It's very... So, there's no... so, like that, you don't like the proposal, sit and talk with them in a civilized manner. I don't think even that happened. Prophet, it's very like it's like Prophet, now I can see it, that he thinks he's so hard, so great. Why can't you? If your parent sits you down, a new law has come now, Zainab, my daughter, or Prophet Muhammad went to Zainab's mother, said, aunt, a new law has come, and please make her understand, like tell her, that she should not look at the lineage. Now God wants you to be equal, and you should see how Zaid is a pious person. He doesn't drink, he doesn't Islam, so he's a pious person, and it would be great for her to accept this and accept my ex-adopted son as her husband. He's very pious. Right? Consider it. Instead of bringing an ayat like, it is not fitting, even this is wrong. So you see my way. You see the way we want to take, moderate way, understanding way, making someone, किसी को समझाना, आराम से समझाना. I don't know how to say it in Urdu, English, sorry. I know how to say it in Urdu. किसी को बिठा के in a civilized manner, isn't even necessary for such an ayat to come that saying Even if you are, it's a, yeah, oh no, there's some things which are good for you. So sit down and make the person understand. It wasn't like Zainab was a hypocrite. We at least were told that she accepted the proposal against her choice. There may have been no chemistry between them. But only pious, there are many pious people. But who to choose? Of course, you can't get married to all the Muslims who are pious. You're going to choose between the pious Muslims, ladies, females, right? The one whom you may have a chemistry with, or when he comes to your place, when his parents come for a proposal, you like the family, you say they're very pious, and yes, so I choose this Muslim family, like that, right? So there's a way of explaining things in a civilized manner, which I feel also is lacking in Prophet Muhammad, to have been able to do that. With Zainab, we have an example. We have tafsirs. We have the ayat. There's no need to force people to marry. Marriage is a different case. You can say fighting against your nafs. You have to discipline yourself. It will take some time, like that, you know. But marriage case, forcing someone, it's a forced marriage against their will. We see through the tafsir. And even if like this nafs fighting, you know, nafs amara hai. There's a nafs amara, the fiery nafs, and the nafs in between, and then the last stages, nafs mutma'in, which is in Surah Fajr. In the end, I think the soul satisfied, Radhi Allah, and Allah is satisfied with you, Radhi, pleased with you. Enter my. So it takes time, stages, to even have this nafs to come to full submission to Allah's will and Prophet Muhammad's will also. That's the ayat there. Surah Nisa, ayat 64, 65. So it takes stages, time, method. That's why we're told to pray 5 times a day, to tame the nafs. When it takes this so much time, it depends on the person. So this was like a revolution imposed on the people, idol worshippers, and Jews and Christians of his time, and disbelievers and all. And I think it was just too quick also. That also point to be considered and noted. So back to that ayat, very easy, and the Islam has been destroyed. Right? Can you not see it? Through Islamic reasoning, logic, step by step, taking it step by step, slowly. It's not an revolution. And it's not an evolution, of course. But it's a revolution. But you'll say monotheistic religions, but so it's not a revolution, Rasul, like a Jesus, or, I've come to fulfill. So you say that they must, at least the Christians and the Jews should be ready for this prophet. Yes. And so it wasn't evolution from Adam. Since then, God has been sending messengers. So it wasn't a revolution, Zara. It was an evolution. And we can go on and on and on. It's like this. Right. So you'll say that, okay? But the point that is not coming to me right now, the reason that this is a wrong way, and thus I reject all monotheistic religions now. But I would say it was a revolution. Uh, that's what the anyways. Someone in the Majlis said, yeah, even that Rasulullah brought a revolution. Like Khomeini brought a revolution in Iran, you would say, right? You wouldn't say it's an evolution. Even the Shias agreed that it was a revolution, not an evolution. Or going back to truly, sincerely, like put the state under that, or have the rule, hijab is a must for all women and girls who come of age for the hijab. But even for Khomeini, they say this is a revolution of. I wonder if Westerners say this, but we would say, what would we say? God knows, anyways. So let's depart from this then. What we would say it was coming to the true Shia religion and making it a state law, Islamic state law, to do hijab. Okay. Then from where to where shall I? Now, leaving this, departing from here, we go to, and this evolution, even if you see Jews who didn't become Christians, there are some Christians who didn't become Muslims. And we can't reach the assumption that all Christians who didn't become Muslims, they're hypocrites. Or that the Jews who didn't become Muslims, I don't know what they would say if they didn't become Christians, then they have missed. But if the Jews didn't become Muslims, they're also hypocrites. And if the polytheists also didn't become Muslims, then they are hypocrites, believers, Muslim believers, right? And if we are leaving Islam, we are also hypocrites. Or if we have left Islam, we are also hypocrites. Now this ayat in my, now I can see that some Sunni extremists, Islamic extremists, sorry, let's not put Sunni in this, you would want to protect your Shias in Pakistan. I understand that you wouldn't want instability in your country for just religion, and you are all from the same religion. We are not, Shias are not your enemies. You came out, some Sunnis helped out. I was told when Imam Raza Mosque was blown apart, and there were people that praying in Karachi, the Imam Raza Mosque, Imam Ali Raza Mosque. So you don't want this for your country. You want stability. Once you unite as Shias, Sunnis, don't kill others, but I don't know what will happen. But do it peacefully, right? And allow the people, your children, brothers, sisters, to have that open mind and see this. It is not that I'm your enemy. In fact, another way, I am so strict that the Westerners will be telling me calm down, calm down, calm down. You know? I cannot stand a man harassing a woman. I would say, and there on Facebook, I'll get these like Westerners, are catching my throat, coming after me. Peace, for peace. They'll say, no, no, forgive, 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 this, that. So this also, I'm very strict. I don't want anyone to hurt anyone. Free my people. And men, remain in your aqad. Right? Like this, I am very strict. Have you seen the movie Walk in the Cloud? Uh, I'm like, I could be like that father, you know. Oh, how could my daughter do something like this? I'll shoot you. So, now you previously longed for death in the. So there must be another ayat or something in the way of Allah. Okay. So you say in the Zahra, it's in the way of Allah. You previously longed for death, but you cannot live. You see, there's no like Muji Baba has come, so come, please. You don't have to long for death in the way of Allah either. How you can die, your person will dissolve. Love can, like I used to, love can dissolve every conflict between sister and sister, brother, sister, mother, daughter, father. Love I chose and I felt could dissolve conflicts. So you don't have to long for death of yourself, of your nafs even. Is there someone there to explain it to us? Now there is. Before, inquiry, deep inquiry, together with the Jiddu Krishnamurti. We have his books. He's gone, unfortunately. So we have his videos on YouTube. Premieres are going on. Urgency of Change. You can watch that. Then we have Muji. You can check our Muji. So in being a Shaheed, you don't have to sacrifice your son like Abraham did to become a leader. Okay, Moses was also chosen to become a leader, and God said to him, He gave His highest name to him, Moses. Allah gave His highest name to Moses. I am who I am. That's Ismail. That's too high, and that's the highest name, we are told. I mean, as a Muslim, my grandmother told me, read Surah Taha. There's a great name, meaning it's the greatest name, and it's a secret. So just read Surah Taha. We don't know. We don't know which is the greatest name of Allah, but it's there somewhere hidden in Surah Taha, so read it. Now I'm reading Surah Taha, the whole ayat I read. Beautiful names called by the beautiful names. Sorry, I'm just having some water. So this, no one sat you down and said, look, okay, so Moses, the Jews will tell me that, well, Allah chose Moses as a leader, and but something is amiss somewhere. Recently I saw a video of Rabbi Simon Jacobson on Moses, how, what is a leader made of? And Allah chooses, God chooses that leader, then it's the best. But, okay, that, I still leave that contemplation open, right? You previously, like for Hindus also, the Gurus, the Master, Kalki will come, God has chosen, who he will come as an avatar. Ram was there. So, but let's just depart from that and keep that open. You previously longed for death, Muslims, for Muslim, Mu'min, believers, religious people. So you need to see that you need to be shown how to dissolve your nafs. You don't have to wish for death. Now you have faced it, observing it with your own eyes, right? Desire for martyrdom. If you say it's martyrdom, You can be a martyr in life today, at this moment, and you will be one with God. This is what they didn't want to show you, to keep you just from, not to keep you, in that control state where you're struggling with the self. Now you're wishing for death to become a martyr, but no one has told you what a true martyr is and how you can be one with God. Because you are God. You are the divine. Because if you weren't, then you'll be like this, servant of Allah on earth, struggling with your nafs. You have sins. Your grandparents' sins, your forefathers' sins have accumulated, come into you. You'll have to say, like, we forgive my forefathers for the sins. It gets so complicated. My mother, my father, Surah Fatiha. You'll have to say tahajjud in the nights. I forgive. I'll have to sit down and say, oh, I forgive my wicked grandmother. And maybe bad blood. So where is it coming from? I have bad blood in me. So I need to purify that blood. And so all this, right? Now, the thing is for you Muslims, who God has not chosen, but what has He done? Trying to, if you speak a good word, God will amend your ways. And fear Allah. That ayat I showed you earlier on in this live stream. So yes, you put some effort, like if someone abuses you, you fear Allah and not abuse back. Then Allah will help mend your way, right? So I correct myself that you have put some effort initially, and now here you need to put in some effort initially to be shown that you are Allah and you don't have to gain favors of Allah. The bounties of Allah proclaim. You are Allah and you are one with Allah. I don't have the right words to show you, but I'll try my best. If you see this, like the mind, I went through stages. Jiddu Krishnamurti's books I read. So now I know that time responds how, and so the mind responds how, and so we need the mind, but we are one. The pure awareness is the highest intelligence that we have, and through that, if you are led, so let your soul, your mind, your conditioning all dissolve right now, or put them aside if they can't dissolve, in this pure awareness, witnessing, being witnesses. And there's only one witness. And all of you are that witness. So if you would do Muji, if I can't explain it to you here, what I learned from Muji, please go to Muji and see this. It's very, very important to know who the witness is. In you, there's no distance, in or out. It's not your eyes, it's not your body, it's not in you. You're not seeing this witness through your brain or your mind, using your mind, your thoughts. It doesn't have an in, it doesn't have an out. First, it may seem like I must go within me and see this, but this within you is without, it's out, it's in. It doesn't have an in and it doesn't have an out. So no one showed us how you can witness, be the absolute. And you're going after longing for death. You haven't lived. Someone would tell you, if they're not sure about who the witness is, at least someone a little bit higher than this would tell you, what, Allah is not, what is this, leading you to doom? But you would say martyrdom is not doom. Okay. But at least live your life. You say, no, no, the disbelievers enjoy their lives and, things like that. This life is temporary. Can you not see it? And how stupid are you people to tell us to live our lives and not wish for death? Because this is martyrdom and life is temporary. And we are, Islam is teaching us to be exclusively devoted to Allah in every walk of our life, right? Again, this man's thing, this Punjabi man who came, but he said, "You are my sister," and this and that. Since then, they're hurling things at me. I don't know, or the enemy is using this Punjabi man's thing at first, and now he apologized and said, "You are my sister." Even then, it's been coming. Who cares? So, coming there on my Facebook saying to me, Randi, and all. At first, like now he's apologized later on. I gave it to him, like anything. And then he said, "You are my sister," I apologize. But, like, you see, I don't know what this religion, I don't know. I got really disillusioned today. Forget my personal thing that they hurt me and I am, yeah. But that I thought, oh my God, you see how some of these Pakistani Muslims are? They are beyond reason, help, this, that. So don't be like them. Don't be like those Pakistanis, Bangladeshis. Bangladeshis also, coming to Christian Prince. Who was it? Uh, Arguing. Baba, first listen to him. I don't. Okay, he says, but what? We have killed our own Muslims, Shia Sunnis. They are at least better than us. So before you point to their mistakes and them, just see that you are worse. You killed your own Muslim Shia Muslims, and your Muslim countries are quiet. And the Shias of Pakistan had to go to London, Parliament, this, that. Please help us. Because it becomes incumbent I know it is incumbent on Allah to save the believers, but it is also incumbent on the believers to save themselves and raise their voices against zulm done in their own country on them by the Muslims, some Muslims. You see? Okay, I think my energy and the headache is still nagging on a little bit. Thank God, not that strong. I need to remove my eyes from light, rest my eyes also so that my head may rest, hopefully. Take a headache pill, painkiller, and I will come back later. Thank you so much. I don't see anyone asking any questions. So thank you. Sorry I missed you, or I gave a late reply, Zero. You asked me twice. Maybe you were waiting for me to reply and I was not looking at the live chat. I apologize for this. Thank you so much. I will continue later in the daytime if I can, if this headache doesn't intensify.